All right, we're live. Awesome. Gfan 84. I know it's different. Got the goggles on right now. A little bit. The reflection, my curse, my arch nemesis. So today we got a very, very special guest, an awesome guy, hell of a guy. If you haven't followed him, you should go follow him. Godzilla Guy. He's a fantastic young kid. He's coming up. He's the newer generation. He's doing a hell of a job for what he's doing. So before we get into that, we've been doing shout outs for YouTubers, influencers, personalities, etc. Today, I want to shout out Big Action Bill. If you haven't seen his YouTube videos, he does all the Godzilla movies and he kicks it right out of the park. He does his research on everything. And he's just killing it. So hit up his page, subscribe, do what you got to do. Awesome guy, Big Action Bill. And we are so close to the 2,000 subscriber giveaway. Anything on the Heisei website can be yours. You just give me your shipping information. I pay for it. Gets shipped to you straight from Heisei to your house. So without further ado, here is the awesome and talented Godzilla Guy.
Hello. Hello, everyone.
Hey.
Alrighty.
Why don't you give a shout out to your channel, your Instagram, your whatever you want?
They're all pretty simple. The YouTube channel is just Godzilla Guy, just GODZILLAGUY. And the Instagram is pretty close, but I'm pretty sure it was already taken. It's also Godzilla Guy again, but it is the first O is a 0, and there's an underscore after all of it. But if you just look up Godzilla Guy, it should still pop up there regardless. But yeah.
Fantastic. Everybody should go subscribe to him. He does fantastic battle analysis. Like stuff I could never dream about doing or have the patience to do. So why don't you tell a little bit more in depth about your channel? What do you do on there?
So originally, way back, it was figure videos. My main inspirations was Luminous, Monster Island Buddies, and Jobby the Hong. And I progressively got better at editing. And one day I wanted to make a video on all the monsters in the Monsterverse, because there's a lot more that people don't realize, like all the small ones on Skull Island, the ones in the comics. And I think collectively there's almost like 200. Like there are a whole bunch of them. And so I made that video. It did pretty well, and I'm like, all right, I can do stuff like this. And one thing that me and my friends had been talking about a lot was Final Wars Godzilla in a fight with Monsterverse Godzilla. So I made a video on that, and that did really well. And people asked to see more of that, and I'm like, all right, I'll step into this area, give my opinions on stuff, and it's just kind of blossomed into what it is now. Just mostly that, but also another big thing are my YouTube shorts. I say like Godzilla Facts, or with Godzilla X Kong, Godzilla morphs more or less with Tiamat, and I'm like, all right, what if he morphed with other kaiju? And so that's been a big thing. And so yeah, there's just a wide variety of stuff on my channel, from Godzilla, Pacific Rim, dinosaurs, and anime. So just all sorts of good stuff.
When did you start with YouTube?
The exact date, hold on, I know YouTube tells you. I think it was like 2018 or 19. Let's see. It was March 14th, 2017. Way back then, originally, I was gonna upload a YouTube short, and I probably will still, just for fun. It's very odd. I made my channel outside a Pizza Hut, hiding in a bush with my friend, because he told me you can make a YouTube channel. I thought you had to be like 18 or something. Like, okay. And we made the channel, and we made 2 god awful videos. One was hide and seek and Food Lion, and one was a chip and cookie challenge, where he tried to guess the chip and cookie taste. It was, yeah, very odd from the start. But I think at one point I made a Godzilla video, and I'm like, I'll do more of this. I like this. And so stuck to that.
Got quite a bit of people popping in. Hello.
Mm.
So, what got you into kaiju? Was it any certain kaiju or was it Godzilla?
Um, it was mostly just Godzilla. I know a lot of Godzilla fans go through a dinosaur phase. Firstly, I skipped that, and I'm just now getting into my dinosaur phase. But when I was very little, I started to like dinosaurs, and my dad introduced me to Godzilla. Because I had this toy and it had songs and it played the Godzilla song, and he's like, "Oh, here, look." And so he introduced me to Godzilla when I think I was about 6, so it's been 11 years now. Um,
Oh, nice.
and yeah, so it's been the majority of my life has been revolved around Godzilla now.
Do you still got that toy?
I saw, yeah, I have my original toy. It was for my I guess 7th birthday. It's one of the 2014 ones. Um, it's like the one where like there's like little thing on its back and like you push it and like his like upper half will like kind of move around a little bit. It's a weird little figure. And I
Oh,
also
yeah.
got that little Bandai 6-pack with like Destroya, Gigan, Ghidorah, Mothra, Godzilla, and who else? Someone else. It's a 6th one, I believe, but those are the main
Nice.
ones.
Hello, Jurassic Gamer, Toxiczilla, Shin Godzilla toy reviews, Mr. Godzilla, Kid Orlander, the Man. That's an awesome name. Godzilla NID, Toastman Jim. All right, now, what was your first Godzilla movie that you ever seen?
My first was the original 54, which was pretty extreme for a 6-year-old.
Yeah, yes.
And so I watched that. I'm like, oh, this is cool. And then I asked my dad if it's real, and he says, yeah, that's real, just to scare me. And so for about a couple months, I was horrified. Until my mom's like, no, it's not a real thing. And soon after that, I watched King Kong versus Godzilla, and then about like couple months ish later, I believe, Godzilla 2014 came out. But yeah, my
Oh, wow.
first was the original, the very first one.
What did you think of it?
I liked it. I thought it was very fun. I don't really think I understood the message then. I believe if I remember correctly, I thought it was like more funny than anything. Just seeing this big. I still found it scary, but like just seeing like, oh, it's like a dinosaur just spits fire. Like that's cool. Now older, more mature, I understand the message behind it. But at the time, I thought it was very entertaining. But then, like I said, my dad said it was real, and then I found it very scary. Because I just thought Godzilla was gonna eat me someday. But yeah, that was the very first for me.
You'd wake up one morning and pull off like that Jurassic Park. What was it, Jurassic Park 2, where the kid looks outside and T-Rex is out the window?
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be like GMK, the girl in the hospital, like, oh, okay, we're good. And then this giant tail just comes in and smacks into everything.
What was your least favorite Godzilla movie that you've seen?
It's a really
one.
it's a real hot take. No, like you don't get it. I mentioned it one time in a video, and like 90% of the comments. And this is bad given you're a Heisei fan. I despise Godzilla versus Biollante. That movie drives me nuts. Like the effects, like it's a phenomenal movie from a like engineering standpoint, I guess. Like the Biollante puppet, amazing. The suit, the effects,
Yes.
but a lot of people complain about G14. It's like, oh, Godzilla's barely in it. It's like, have you seen Via? Have you rewatched it? He doesn't appear until like the last like 10ish minutes, and the giant, amazing final form Biollante is on screen for like 3 minutes and then just blows up. It was just super, super slow for me. I know a lot of people dislike the anime trilogy. That's like close behind it, but or I guess in front of it. But yeah, I really just do not like Biollante. It's just bores me to death.
Believe it or not, I hear a lot of people say Biollante is their least favorite.
I know Heisei
So I
era
really
wise,
like
a lot of people dislike
talking about
space.
Yeah. Yep. Now with mine, I think You know, Violante was the only probably saving grace into that movie for the most part that she's in it, right? The full
Yeah.
in full form.
Yeah, the suits and everything were so cool. Like, I really wish I could like the movie more because like, it would definitely be one of my favorites just because the creature design is so good, but I just can't bring myself to like it too much just because it's just super slow.
Now we're gonna kick this next one back to YouTube a little bit. Now, do we have a? Do you give advice to up and coming YouTubers or anybody that wants to make a video? What would you tell them?
Um, One thing that I've done when it comes to, like, doing well on YouTube is I just find interviews from big YouTubers like Mr. Beast, Eric, Ryan Trahan, Game Theory, and just listen to their advice because it works on anything, even something, as niche as Godzilla. Their tips still work. For me, like, advice wise, the most important thing in a video is the title, the thumbnail, and the first 5 seconds. Because nowadays, thanks to TikTok, people's attention spans are not the best. So you really have to hook them in immediately.
Yep.
Um, I know one of my best ones with like the best viewer retention is a hot take I have saying, in when it comes to like a physical who can throw hands better, I think Mecha 21 from Godzilla versus Kong, I think he could beat up King Ghidorah from 2019. And so I started a video saying, here's why like Mecha Godzilla beats Ghidorah. And people, like, when you have something like hooks them in immediately, they'll stay more, and in turn you'll more people will watch, more people will comment. So I think those are some big things, and also just you know not listening to any criticism you get, because from what I found, most people that criticize are just, at least in like the Godzilla community, at least like how I do stuff versus stuff, it's just people that disagree or are mad like you're doing well and they're not.
Yep.
um
Yep.
So, like, I made a video on it recently, the Indominus Rex from Jurassic World versus the Skull Crawler, and most of the people are like, "Here's why you're wrong." Their profile pictures or their entire channel is revolved around Jurassic World. So I was like, "Ah, I see." So it's just
Bias.
learning
Yeah.
to
Yep.
ignore the hate. It can be difficult, but once you learn how to do it, it's very helpful. You can just do what you want to do and do it for fun.
Kid Orlander actually has a awesome comment there. The anime trilogy is good.
It has its moments
Hey,
for
if you
sure.
love it, that's you.
Yeah.
Who am I or anybody else to tell you what you like or what's good? Furry Blast 77, yo, what's your favorite Godzilla movie? Mine personally, 74, Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla.
That yeah,
Main anime. Go ahead.
my top 3 is, I like -1 at first. It's just, I think that's a very common answer now. But I
It's
also,
we're in that hype train right now.
yeah. Um, Second's probably Terror of Mechagodzilla 75. Just love Titano, love the day fight scenes. I wish they would have done more of those at the Showa era rather than the last movie having day fights.
Yeah.
And then G14, just because that was one of my first ones. That's at third. But
I mean, that's not a bad list right there.
let's see.
Now let's stick with one more YouTube thing and we'll push on from that. What was the point where, because you're up there in that YouTube atmosphere now.
Hmm.
Where did you think you could make a profit on YouTube? Did you ever think you would be able to do that, or was that like a fairy tale to you?
Um, I kind of thought I could. I'm like, I'm growing up with the internet. I know how to, before YouTube, I, did stuff like Vine, or, I had TikTok as well. And I also did a lot of streaming on Twitch. And so I knew how to entertain and keep people watching. So I was like, this is definitely a viable thing if I stick to it. And my YouTube started doing pretty well at one point, but I was working at Subway, which gave me like no time to work on it. And so I took a leap of faith and quit my job at Subway. I'm like, I'm going to focus fully on YouTube. And Yeah, currently I'm not. I'm demonetized, but I can reapply soon. But yeah, I was like, I think I can do this. You just put your mind to it and get the support you need from friends, family around you, and you can really do anything.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Hmm.
I'm sort of like in the same boat with you, you know, work a 40-hour construction job and
Mm.
come home, spare time. A lot of people who wants to do a YouTube video, but you got to push through it, you know?
Yeah.
What made you demonetized?
I had a short, just explaining why Godzilla killed Tiamat, and it was a picture of Tiamat. And I had seen other people. I think like the Mind IQ was one of them. I'd seen other bigger channels using it. I'm like, all right. So I just used a screenshot of Tiamat and the copyright, and it went up, and it was up for about a week. YouTube didn't flag it at all. They're like, oh, okay, cool. But I guess the copyright holders came along and are like, no, no, no. And no warning, just took it down. Like, all right, you're demonetized for 90 days, but I can reapply the 16th next month, right after Gfest.
Nice, nice. Since you brought up G Fest, have you ever been to a G Fest?
Yep, this will be my third year. I have a
Third year.
massive suitcase beside me full of stuff I'm giving away. Working with Rickson Custom Toys. He's sending me some of his stuff to give away. Gamer Subs are one of my sponsors. I have a whole bunch um of my own toys I'm giving away. Ghost X Ghost, the shirt company, they've sent like almost $300 worth of stuff. And Seismic Toys as well at Gfest. There, I'm picking stuff up from them at Gfest to give away. So I think collectively all the things I have is probably $600 to $800 worth of stuff to give away. So yeah, I've got quite a
Nice.
bit to give
Now, how you
away.
guys? How are you gonna do that? Is it gonna be a drawing or
No, like last year I
how
just
are you gonna
carried stuff around. So that's probably what
randomly
I'll
giving it
do.
away?
Yeah, if like a fan comes up to me. Last year I did trivia, and I mean I have a lot of trivia questions, but I know a lot of my fans are younger, so they might not know a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, even if people get it wrong, I have still give it to them regardless. But I don't want anyone to feel like, oh, I don't know, I'm not, that was embarrassing. So I'm literally just gonna probably just carry like 4 or 5 things on me at a time, and if someone comes up to me, big fan, be like, all right, cool, here, um, take this random Godzilla figure. But that's the plan for G Fest.
There you go, chat. You heard him. You see him at G Fest? Hit him up.
I will have a hoodie on. I made a custom hoodie for G Fest. I can send you the picture. I don't know if you're able to like show it to them. But I got one of my artists to throw this together. The front has my little Godzilla Guy emblem on it, but here's what hold on, if you just want to like pull it up and show them. It's sending. It's a little comic panel style. All right, it's sent, I think. There we go.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, I got to show this. Maybe here.
And here's what's just going to be on the front. It's the Godzilla Guy emblem. So it'll be pretty easy to find me.
StreamYard wants to cooperate here. Nope, it does not want to cooperate at this moment.
Oh.
Something's
Something's happening.
We got it. Did we get it?
For me, it's just a gray screen. Here, I think. Hold on. Can I? Hold on, I might be able to present. Yeah. Let's see.
I'll post it up on YouTube.
Oh, I think I got a screen share going. Maybe.
At the stage. There we go.
There we go. But yeah, this is what I'm going to be wearing. So for anyone wondering, there's the Hyatt Hotel right there for G Fest. And this one, not many people are gonna understand. Just my two buddies. My two best buds, FDA. He's another YouTuber, not the Food and Drug Administration. His name is just FDA on YouTube. But his profile is Manila, so I got a little Manila, and then my buddy Lazy Turtle. So there's a little turtle up on the Manila's head. But yeah, that is
Gojira fan likes it.
good to know.
Yeah, man, that's an awesome hoodie right there.
Appreciate it.
What's your favorite show era movie?
That's tough. I gotta go with either Godzilla films. I think I lean towards Terror. I just love Titanosaurus a lot. But I also like the like out of Godzilla stuff. It's not a movie, but I love Spectre Man. That was I think early '70s show by P Productions. It's just a great show. Love it. Love the kaiju.
That's one rabbit hole I have not gone down yet.
It is phenomenal. The whole series is on YouTube, I believe. Someone's uploaded. Well, what was tough is I made every Christmas I do a 10 days of Christmas stuff where I do a video every single day, and I covered a lot of Spectreman stuff, and all the footage is like 480p glitchy, because someone's just like recorded footage they got from I guess some old computer. And as the series already gone and I was done editing, some channel started uploading the Spectreman episodes all at 1080p, like high quality. And you've got to be joking, right after I finished. But still a great show. The characters and kaiju are awesome. So
have you watched Ultraman in its fullest?
No, there's just so much. I love Ultraman Rising. I'm currently trying to set up a interview with Christopher Scene. He's the guy who voices Ken. And he just says he's waiting for the Netflix PR team to give him the green light. But
that is now correct me if I'm wrong. That's the guy that played the guy from Bleach, Yujiro.
I believe he's played something from Bleach. I haven't watched Bleach, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think he's also done something in Fire Force, another anime. He's in -1.
He was the American version voice for the Kamikaze pilot.
All right, cool. So definitely ask some questions on both of that then. But yeah, that's great.
Yeah, it'll be an awesome interview. I can't wait to hear that go.
Yeah. Besides him, I've been able to interview unknowingly. Have you seen or heard of the Man in the Suit series on YouTube, like the horror series?
Yeah. Yes.
They're able to interview him and Greg Keyes. He's done the novelization for King of the Monsters, Godzilla vs. Kong, Godzilla X Kong, and also wrote Dominion, Godzilla Dominion.
A bunch of stuff coming down the pipe there.
Mm-hmm.
Gojira fan, Bleach is also goated. Yes, it is. I was just waiting for him in -1 to say Bankai. Now, what are your thoughts on? Well, let's keep that going, right? What's your favorite Heisei movie?
It's bad because I just said I dislike Bio. I also do. I really like the Space Godzilla movie. It's just so outrageous. But I want to say that's my favorite. I probably say I need to watch what I say, or else the Heisei fans are gonna beat me up at G Fest. But I probably go with. I think Mechagodzilla is a good movie. I really don't like Mechagodzilla's design. The Heisei era could just not. But yeah, Super Mecha is cool. Mogira adds a lot. For me, it's just like Mechagodzilla is a very round body, and then his face is like jagged, but also I don't know. He just looks he's like really fat, which is weird because it's a mecha, but like some of him literally looks like he has like fat overlays. But I like it overall though. The characters are fun. I like how it Mechagodzilla is then leans into then makes Mogira later on the road. But yeah, I like Godzilla versus is it versus Mechagodzilla 2, I believe? Is that the name? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. What about the Millennium version? I guess what are they calling it? Rolla?
Yeah,
still gonna go with your 2014?
Oh, well, Millennium, I like the Kiryu saga, so against Mechagodzilla and Tokyo SOS. Reiwa era, 2014 and minus are mine.
2014 minus. That's
Mhm.
a strong one right there. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Because I think sometimes when we do like the new stuff, we got to sort of separate the MonsterVerse with -1. You know?
Yeah,
Because
I personally
they're
just see
definitely way too different.
because like
Go
I
ahead.
see people like categorize them differently. But the main thing is just like the main reasoning people have behind it's like, oh, they're so like, insanely different. But at the same time, it's like, I mean, the Reiwa era itself is, you have Godzilla Earth, with aliens time traveling through the universe and a non-physical Ghidorah that comes out of a black hole. Then you got Shin Godzilla, just constantly in pain creature. You got Ultima from a fourth dimension. So, I mean, I think MonsterVerse is, I count it kind of the same because the eras are more just the time itself. Like I see why people like the Heisei era is like a continuation of different films, but they're all like canon to each other. But I still see it as like time. So like, when did this era start? When did this era end? Like the year. So while the MonsterVerse started before the Reiwa, I believe, because Reiwa starts with Shin, it's going along with it. So in my book, at least, I just put them together. I think they're part of the same era.
See, I think Shin should have just kept on continuing that little universe there. I think they had plenty enough stuff to keep going.
I mean, they kind of barely did with the. I mean, besides Shin Godzilla, there's Crayon Shin-chan, a little kids anime where Godzilla dies from a fart, but Shin Godzilla. And then there's the ride, like the 4D or something. It's where it's like he's fighting like the Evangelion robots.
Yeah, and I guess the little if you want to count the PlayStation VR little simulator thing.
Oh yeah, I know there's a horse game too. It's really weird. There's a there was a horse game where, like, you like raced a horse through a city before Shin Godzilla can destroy
I heard about that.
It's so odd. I know there's footage of it on YouTube. It's such an odd crossover. Toho just kind of anyone who reaches out to Toho, like, want to work together, like, yeah, sure, here, take Godzilla.
What did you think of the Godzilla humans?
Oh, what was that? That was form 5. Yeah, the 5th form. It was interesting. But I mean, I get from a story standpoint, it's like, humans are killing him. He needs to evolve to beat the humans, so make his own humans. They're also very tall. I believe they're like, I think someone like pixel count, I think they're like 9 or 10 feet tall. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're not like,
See, if they would have did a Shin 2, I think that would have been a interesting concept to go off of that.
Yeah.
I know they're planning on going into space and populating other planets.
Yeah, I made
Godzilla, actual god.
Yeah, I made a short on like Shin Godzilla's one of his original designs, the concept art, and he was because it was made by the guy who made Evangelion and his like very cryptic, messages and stuff. Shin Godzilla originally, like, a lot of his designs was just a lady, just like a lady with like dorsal plates, and like completely nude to add to that. Like all the I really had to be very careful with putting that short up because so much of it is just like, all right. I mean, one of them, the concept art is literally it's like hundreds of ladies just piled on each other. It's like, what? Who saw that and like, yep, that's Godzilla. It's I don't know what was going on, if there was like some gas in the air when they were making the concept boards, but something was going on.
I think that whole movie was a little, they were smoking something on that one.
Oh yeah, something went on behind the scenes, but still a good movie though. Still a very good movie.
Yes, indeed. Like it grew on me quite a bit. At first, I was not a big fan of it. I was like, "What the hell is this crap?" And then the more I watched it, the more it grew on me, and now I'm a complete mark for it. Godzilla Guy is the reason I'm doing YouTube again because I lost interest in YouTube, but I started to do similar content to him and made some videos like Zilla Jr. versus -1, for example.
That's good. Glad to be your inspiration. And on that note, Zilla Jr. absolutely would demolish -1. I know he like clashes beams with some character in the show, and like they diffused a storm that was like the size of like an entire state, I think. It's like, so I'm definitely going with Zilla Jr.
That's who you got?
Yep. I mean the
Hello, I'm
regeneration
the
would be an
bot for
issue.
Godzilla Guy. I'm doing nothing at all. You do that. You just enjoy
Oh
it,
yeah.
Iris.
Yeah, Iris, he mods my my streams, make sure people don't spam or anything.
Griselda's got a little thing here. Who would win?
Who would win?
Godzilla Guy versus Shin Godzilla Guy.
I don't know. That, both, I don't really got characters for that. I have other designs. I have because the Godzilla Guy profile, I liked it a lot. So the artist that made it, I commissioned her to make like a whole series of them. Like I can send a couple on Instagram real fast. But I mean, there's Baragon Guy, Varon Guy, Destroyer Guy.
So you got a whole lineup there.
Oh yeah, we got Leatherback from Pacific Rim. Yeah, let me just grab a couple random ones. Let's go with. Yeah, there's a good lineup. Let me get the screen share back up. But yeah, we got Showa Megalon. We also have a Megalon Rex, the Gemstone one. There's Leatherback right here. This is Edward, aka the Frostvark from Legacy of Monsters, and then Monster X. So yeah, there are many, many more from that as well.
That's not bad.
Yeah, they're very goofy. They're also very stickerable. At Gfest, I have stickers of Destroya, Varon, and Godzilla Guy to give away. So,
what did you think of Monarch Legacy of Monsters?
it was interesting. Like it was. It's just mostly human stuff, and we're Godzilla fans. We want to see the big guys fight. I mean, it was definitely an interesting story. The characters, I like the old trio, the flashback trio. The modern day one, the main girl, she's just like an asshole to her mom, and she cheated on her girlfriend. The other girl, I'm trying to think of their names. Hold on, let me just pull it up real fast.
May, what was it? May, Kentaro, and oh man, it's been a little bit. May, Kentaro, and
all right, Kate. Kate, that's the main girl. She was a jerk to her mom. Didn't like her. May, like she didn't really do much. Like I don't get from a plot point like what she adds.
He was interchangeable.
And Kentaro, I mean, he's like the strongest of the three, I guess. But he was still, I mean, both Kentaro and Kate, their parents did not do a good job because they're both just assholes.
Yeah, straight.
Like they just the old trio with Lee Shaw and I think it's Kiko and Bill Randa. I like them a lot more. Also because Bill then later appears. He's in, Skull Island.
John Goodman.
Yeah. So yeah, I definitely much preferred. Yeah. I like the transition a lot. That one point that it went between Kurt and Wyatt. I mean, they do look exactly alike. It's wild.
Do you feel they should be doing a second season, or do you think they should have stopped with the first?
I mean, there's still mysteries to be explored, but like two shows I'd like more would be one, a show where we follow Bryan Cranston's character, because I mean, from G14, because like when we see what's the main guy's name? I always know his name, but now I don't. Godzilla 2014. Joe, the dad of Ford. I mean, when Ford goes and visits him and we see his apartment, his apartment's just littered with stuff. I'd love to see a show where it's like, Joe doing his own research, finding his own mysteries and stuff.
Because there was a lot there on that board when he got back to
there was.
that
I mean, his
house.
entire apartment was just full of stuff. And another one I'd think would be fun. I've seen a lot of people saying like, "Oh, Trapper should be like if they were add Jet Jaguar, Trapper should pilot it." What I'd like to see, I think would be interesting, is a show just called like Jet. I mean, my friends have like pretty much planned the whole thing out. Pretty much, it revolved around Trapper driving this mech of sort, kind of based on the Titan Hunter from the Hunted comic that came out right before GXK. And it just be a big robot called Jet, and he pilots it. He just explores Hollow Earth. Fights monsters that he needs to. At some point, have a monstrous Gorosaurus pop up, have them fight, but not kill each other, just walk away. And then at the very end, he'd be like exploring, and I just think it'd be a really cool shot. All the burrowing kaiju, the dugs, the crabs, anything that can burrow is like running out of the ground, just running past him. And I think it'd be cool if it ends with, like a bright yellow light and a megalon roar. And then it would lead into the next movie. Jet gets completely destroyed, but Trapper survives. They rebuild it, name it Jet Jaguar, make it look like, one of the Pacific Rim Jaegers, because they've been nodding towards Pacific Rim in the, it was Gypsy Danger's arm they showed. But overall, I just think there's a lot more interesting shows they could do than, Legacy Monsters is good, but I don't really think it needs a second season.
Yeah.
So
I'm there with you. I'm a little hesitant on it, but what do I know? Maybe they got something in the bag that's gonna blow us out of the water.
Hopefully. The one thing I did like a lot about it was I have such wild hot takes. In Legacy of Monsters, my favorite fight was the opening one where the Mother Longlegs and the Mantleclaw fought, because at least from my point of view, we're so used to seeing these giant skyscraper kaiju fight, and it's just kind of like it's like, all right, cool. But I like them building the actual monster verse part of the whole universe, and so having these little guys fight too. I'd love to have some show or like YouTube series where they show maybe like a skull crawler fighting a frostvark, show a drowned viper trying to fight off a warbat. Like, I'd love to see like these smaller, not like the big alpha titans, but I'd love to see like these smaller ones duke it out. I think that'd really make the world feel more lively, not just these couple big guys.
Because like what we seen at the last episode, the Ion Dragon going up against Godzilla, there was no match there. Like, what's going on here?
I like the Iron Dragon. It's funny he thought he had a chance. I mean, he did a little bit. I mean, he cut Godzilla a little bit, bit into his gills, vomited on him, but then Godzilla's like, all right, that's enough of you.
and
hey, at least he had the balls to do it.
Kaiju. Yeah,
you gotta give him credit where it's due. He's a cool kaiju, and he really thought he had a chance, which was funny. But
now I know we talked about the hype with -1. What did you think of it? Do you think with the whole -1, minus color, what did you think of it?
I liked it a lot. I watched minus color as well. Overall, it's just a very well-made movie, in my opinion. And I mean, it is. What astonishes me, like, I was kind of worried because people have been hyping it up so much. I was worried, like, oh shoot, it's not going to be like as good as people are saying. I was worried, people have been overhyping it, but no, it was phenomenal. And one thing that I found really interesting, they didn't really have much marketing. I mean, besides YouTube, like I never saw, -1 trailer or anything, or like, them. I mean, I know they had a lot of marketing in Japan, but in the States, they didn't have, all the random, I know like in Japan, they even like teamed up with like a baseball team or something. It was like a lot of the, if you just look at Wikizilla, look at the promotional stuff, there's so much for it. But
they even had that floater going around, what was it, Tokyo?
Yeah.
With Godzilla in the water chasing the boat.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just astonishing, like how it just kind of spread by mouth or word here in America. Everyone's like, it's
Yeah, I
really
think it
good.
was
Gotta
more
watch
like
it.
people like us, communities.
Yeah,
What did you watch the Netflix version?
I watched some of it, but since it's like my favorite, I was like, yeah, I don't know. So like midway, we just switched it back to its original version, just red.
Well, apparently, I guess sometime this summer they're coming out with the minus color on Netflix.
Interesting. I was kind of hoping when watching minus color, and I get the whole thing's gonna be like 54, but I was kind of hoping like when Godzilla did his Ginza beam, I was hoping like it would like shine blue. I think that'd be awesome. Like he's just like breaking through the black and white, just to like really emphasize how powerful it is.
How many times did you see it?
Saw it 3 times. 2 of the normal, 1 of minus color.
That's about where I'm at, but it was all I didn't see the minus color. I didn't want to see the black and white version.
I liked it. I think
I've seen enough of my time. I'm a lot older than you. I've
yeah.
seen enough black and white. I'm done with that era.
For me, I think the water scene looked super duper good in black and white, but everything else, yeah, I'd
Was it?
prefer in color. Yeah, the water was just in the black and white. It just looks super cool. The whole ocean parts.
Now you said you're talking. You might have an interview coming up with the Ultraman Rising. What did you think of that?
Loved it. Top 3 kaiju films, in my opinion. I just the animation. It's pretty much like for anyone who hasn't watched it. If you guys have seen the Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse movies, it's like that level animation, but kaiju.
I agree.
And the final battle
Way
is
family
probably
oriented.
my favorite final battle ever. Just I'm not gonna spoil anything, but the reveal of his his dad and the whole team up, it's just awesome.
What were your thoughts on GXK? Since you're a
Um
MonsterVerse guy,
uh it happened. That's really about it.
love it.
Like I love it, but at the same time, like I'm just like, okay, that was kind of a waste of time. Like I don't know what it is. It just like messes, like breaks my brain. Like it just it feels hollow. If that makes like it doesn't add much to the MonsterVerse. Like all right, cool. Where's the rest of the movie? Like it just I was like, it just felt hollow.
I'm in the same boat with you. I'm not gonna get on your ass like a lot of people were. I'm not gonna, deride this franchise, this movie. I'll tell it the
Yeah,
same way like you said it. Like
the fans are so out of it. People are like would like die on the hill for it. They're like, whenever anyone brings it up, and they're like, and they say, and then someone brings up like,
you're
oh,
not
it's
a
just
real
like too
G fan.
silly.
You're not a real Godzilla fan.
Yeah, that. But like when someone's like, oh, it's too silly, you shout it out. Bay Action Bill, love his content. He's my like favorite Godzilla YouTuber. And he couldn't have said it better. He brought up that exact point of like, if you bring it up to a GXK fan, oh, it's just too silly, and they're like, oh, well, it was meant to be, and it's like, so you're implying Adam sat everybody down. All right, guys, we're gonna make a stupid movie for no reason. We're just gonna make it dumb and over the top, and like just like for no reason. There's no point behind it, just to do it, just for shits and giggles. Like it just doesn't make sense. It was just weird overall. Like it was cool. The fights were cool, but I was like, meh.
I think a lot of it was now if you could have stopped after Kong versus Scar King, if that was the movie right there and you just stopped after that fight, fantastic movie right there.
Mm.
And then
Yeah,
we
I
just kept
just
going.
don't like
It was
how
like
it's
a
more
bad
just.
spiral downhill.
I've seen people like Photoshop the title and they'll be like Kong, the New Empire, featuring Godzilla. Like it's pretty much what the film was. It was just kind of there.
Where would you rank that in the MonsterVerse?
Mm,
Now, wait. Before you answer that, what did you
Hmm.
think of the Kong anime?
I like that more than Legacy of Monsters because again, like I brought up, I want to see a verse. I want everything to feel lively. Like there's constant threat of you being eaten by some giant like 6 foot tall plant. I loved it. The characters, meh, but Kong was awesome. The chameleon fight was awesome. The new skull car design where he's like super bony everywhere. Like it's Kong anime was awesome in my opinion. I think it's the better of the two shows. But I know a lot of Godzilla fans like,
See,
no, Legacy, because Godzilla's in it.
I I I I liked a lot of the animation. I liked the animation. Me personally, I like the humans, the brothers, right?
Yeah.
You know, I like that aspect. What threw me off of it? I like the Kraken too. Don't get me wrong. I like that. I like that he was a threat. But what threw me off was when Kong started crying like a little bitch and then running off crying.
Yeah, though I do think he's more like in his teenage years at that point, so he's very easily, um,
Yeah, but he's seen
irritable.
his parents die. Like
I mean, he did cry to that, but
that.
again, I think it's just, yeah, it was a little odd for me. What threw me off the most was he understood what was seeming. I don't know if it was Spanish or like some version of Spanish, but like everyone's like, wow, he can understand sign language. Like he can understand like spoken language. Like he it's like his intelligence is much higher than we give him credit for.
Yes.
It was that was wild.
So let's go back to it then. Where would you put GXK on your list?
Of just the films.
Yes, just the films.
When it
Monsterverse.
yeah. I don't know. Like for me, I like the character. Like Bernie was a lot more enjoyable in GXK than GVK. But I don't know. I feel like I made a short and I deleted it because like 90% of the comments were just GXK fans getting mad. But I'll probably re-upload it. GXK is a little sloppy just because the reason Godzilla versus Kong was so important is because that's been the kaiju debate ever since like 54. You got 1933 Kong, 54 Godzilla. It's always been the big debate. And then we got King Kong versus Godzilla. No exact winner. I mean, it was kind of like more leaning towards Kong, but it wasn't like 100%. Because Godzilla's a-okay.
But even back in the day before the internet, there was always that hype over in Japan. Godzilla won. There was a different version.
Yeah, which was apparently wrong. Yeah, there's only one version.
Yeah.
But GVK comes along. It's been like 60 years at this point. It's like finally we get an answer. It's been so long, and so I like why a lot of people like it so much. And then it's like, all right, let's do it again. It's like it's not gonna be anywhere near as impactful as GVK. So I mean, like it's a fun film to show to a new person, but I probably have it near my bottom. I don't know if it probably is the bottom.
Mine too.
Like I don't by any means dislike it, but I just don't really like it either. It's just kind of there.
I dislike it. I'll get hate, but they built Shimu up to be the first Titan, the big alpha dog, the humongous Titan still living that we know of. And then Kong's petting it like a dog.
Yeah, which is weird because like they're both like intelligent kaiju, so it's like
what are we doing here?
Yeah, if Shima is the oldest, that's like petting your grandma. It's just weird.
Yeah, and arguably you would say Shimu's Ice Blast is probably arguably more stronger than Godzilla's blast. Probably the strongest blast in all of Kaiju Titans, whatever verse you want to go.
Mm-hmm.
And he's getting treated like a dog. He's getting rode on. What's going on?
Yeah,
here?
I know in the novel it says now some Godzilla fans have taken it way too literally, but because of my short, I made a short saying like how powerful is Shima's beam. In the novel, it's implied she froze over Greenland in either a few minutes to a few hours. But if you go by a few minutes and say like 3 minutes, she's outputting. Hold on, let me just pull it up. Where is it? She is outputting. Let me find the exact math. So many things. She's outputting 8 billion 222,012,222.22 tons of ice per second. If you go by only a couple minutes. And then, yeah, it's like, all right, big
that's
ape.
ridiculous.
Yeah. It's odd.
So, and that just, that just sort of proves to my point, what are we doing?
I guess
Why?
the reason is to be like, oh, she's like not super smart, I guess. But yeah, no, it is weird. Because I know like the concept art, like Shimo pretty much is just like a spin-off of like the Godzilla species, or vice versa, Godzilla species spin off of them. So in like a weird sense, it's like Kong has a Godzilla as his pet. Personally, when it comes to like his pets, I like the giant hawk from the Skull Island anime. I think that was awesome. It reminded me a
Yes.
lot of like kind of like Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, where Noah had like the eagles and stuff. I mean, pretty much the exact same thing. Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah.
So,
and I believe like Mothra shouldn't even been in there neither. I think that was just a throw-in character.
yeah, they had a Phosphera originally, and I wanted to see Phosphera because it was such a like, it was just like a shit post. It was so funny seeing this weird alien bug thing, but apparently people like despised it and like, all right, we'll get Mothra.
Or even, I don't know, let's do Batra this time. That other egg, let's switch it up and make a Batra.
Originally, I thought it was going to be Megalon for a couple reasons, and now he would fit even more. Because like, all right, Hollow Earth reminds me a lot of Seatopia. The tunnels from the Hollow Earth to the surface, how'd they get there? I don't know, a massive burrowing kaiju. The new Empire, there's Emperor Antonio, but now he'd also fit, maybe have like some ancient war where the Iwi fought the Seatopians or something. Have some other, underground civilization of people. So, but yeah.
I mean, that would have been a good theory, but the only thing I see with that wrong is, they just had that Megalon in that short, that redone
Yeah,
Megalon,
the gemstone,
which they knocked out of the park with that short.
I'm cool with as much Megalon as possible. I am.
Yeah.
Megalon and Baragon are my two favorite kaiju. So,
oh really?
Give me as much. Yeah, give me as much as that.
Godzilla?
No, Godzilla's not even my favorite. Like I know, like a lot of Godzilla fans, Godzilla's my favorite. He's cool, love him to death. He's like like top 5, but I don't know. I'm weird. I like Megalon and Baragon. I guess subconsciously, maybe like I don't realize Godzilla probably is my favorite. It's what I talk about 24/7. But I see it more as like my favorite character, not kaiju, kind of, because like I see Godzilla more than just a kaiju at this point. He's like he like is like a massive part of pop culture. I like Nezu Burdon from Spectre Man, Gauss.
Gauss is a good one.
Very one of my takes in one of my videos was I think Gauss is a better version of Rodan. It's just Rodan with more character, pretty much.
I'll tell you what, the best version Rodan was the Showa era version. The King Ghidorah movie one, where he actually had attitude. Like, fuck you, Godzilla, I'm not gonna team up with you.
Yeah, I wish we could have gotten some actual Rodan versus Godzilla movie, because like Mothra, I've never seen Mothra as like a threat to Godzilla whatsoever. I despise Mothra as a character. She's one of my least favorite because she's always just been the damsel in distress. Like Mothra
Whenever
Leo,
you see Mothra, she's gonna die.
Yeah, the only ones I like is Mothra Leo and GXK Mothra, because they're just both really cool and like they can actually like fend for themselves. I mean Mothra is able to like stun and knock back Shimo and Godzilla in GXK. She's not just there to get blown up. And then Mothra Leo, I mean, he's badass as hell,
Yeah.
Time traveling, going to like a atom size, fighting against like a time traveling Ghidorah that eats dinosaurs. Like Mothra Leo is awesome because
those kaiju in that movies were awesome.
The movie themselves are a little weird to watch, but yeah, all the Ghidorahs, was it Daggera, right?
They were little kid movies.
Yeah, but some damn good little kid movies.
Where would you put Ghidorah on your favorite list? I'm just curious about that person.
I mean, he's up there, but I mean, I don't know. Like the main ones, I don't really have like anything too crazy to say because I mean they've been the main ones for so long. And Ghidorah's definitely cool. I like the idea, but I think there are better versions of them that exist out there in fiction. Like I keep bringing it up, but Spectre Man, what's also funny, Spectre Man did a lot of stuff before Godzilla did. That's very close. They have Gokinosaurus. He's just a giant beetle before Megalon came. There's Silver Robo, the mecha version of Spectre Man, before Mecha Godzilla. So there's a lot of ones that came before a lot of Godzilla Kaiju. But in Spectre Man, there's this one, Mitsuzu Ryu. It's pretty much Ghidorah, but now he also spits poison, spits rocks,
Oh, wow.
and has a suction cup tail that can pick up and throw the kaiju and also shoot oil and water out of it.
I'm going to have to check that out. That sounds interesting.
It's great. It's a phenomenal show.
All right. What other things besides Godzilla are you into?
Well, I like Kaiju number 8 a lot. It's a anime about a kaiju. I like Star Wars, Pacific Rim, dinosaurs.
Disney Star Wars or pre-Disney or both?
Mostly pre-Disney. But I can appreciate like the Clone Wars, though that's really good. And
Fantastic.
the Acolyte is horrible, but the fight scenes, gotta give him credit for the fight scenes. The fight where whatever the Sith name is fights all the Jedi, he uses his like a headbutt to block a lightsaber. Awesome. The rest of the show, ignore it. Someone could. I'd love to see someone upload Acolyte, but it's just the good parts on YouTube, and it's just the fight scenes, nothing else. Because as a show, it just kind of like flips off. George is like Palpatine. Psh, no. Anyway, these two random witches that we have no idea about. Yeah, they can do stuff that Palpatine couldn't. It's weird.
All right. Obviously, you collect kaiju. You already said it. What is your favorite piece in your collection?
Oh, I get that a lot in my streams.
If your house is on fire, you can only carry out one.
Oh no, man. I'll burn with them. Like there's so many. I mean, I just got one that might be my favorite. I think it's by like Lin Jin is the company name or something like that. It is a Crimson Typhoon figure. It is beautifully made. It's all plastic, but like it looks metal. They even have like fake like metal scratches on it. They might have accessories. You can put batteries in it to have its face and back light up. Extra arms. It's such a great figure. It's sitting beside my monitor right now. Here, I can try and send you a picture. It's fully articulated. And it's just awesome. Hold up. Let me send that on Instagram real quick. But I mean, then you got, the Hiya Toy Skullcrawler is awesome. Spiderhawk Studios is Doug. Rickson Custom Toys Gorosaurus. I also love my Defa reels. I have a 73 Defa reel. Love it to death. Favorite Defa reel I have. So
I got a handful. I think I got Kong Skull Island where he's fighting the octopus. I got Son of Godzilla one with Minya and EightyFour and a couple other ones.
I'm just now starting to get into dinosaur figures as well. And what I find funny, over like the 400 plus Godzilla things I've opened, I've never cut myself on anything by accident. I got a Therizinosaurus, which is known for their claws, and I cut deep into my hand twice trying to open that box. I needed like 4 bandages. The yep, that guy right there, that exact one. The Hammond collection. Yep. That box put up a fight and it won. My hand, I mean, it still has scratches on it now, but it's out of all the things, out of all the Godzillas, you'd think like, oh, at least once one of them would have gotten me. Nope. But the dinosaur did.
Are you ready to go down that rabbit hole, the dinosaur?
My wallet's already crying out in pain 24/7, and my shelves are already full. But if I need to make some sort of technology that can make a portal into a different dimension to hold them, I will do it if that's what needs to be done.
I'll tell you what, if you're going to start going in that collection, I advise you the Hammond collection. Fantastic. Probably the best out of the
Yeah, I saw your video on the Giganotosaurus.
worldwide. Yep.
There's
And
also some, what is it? There's some brand.
Nanmu is a pretty good collection you should look into. All right, since we're on dinosaurs, what's your favorite?
Oh yeah,
dinosaur?
Namu. Yep, that's actually, yeah. They're making the Carnosaurus coming up.
Oh yeah, the
Articulate,
SH
yeah,
version sort of stuff.
yeah, pretty much.
What's your favorite dino of all time?
Dude, I'm still like getting into it. I like Ankylosauruses a lot. I like Allosauruses. You know, I think they're like a cooler. At least the Jurassic World version looks, in my opinion, cooler than Rexy. I just think it's a cooler version. But the Anchiceratops, love that one too. It is one of the Ceratopian or Ceratop. I don't know what the family tree of them is called. But I just like its crown a lot. I don't know exactly. Hold on, it's spelled. How is it spelled? Anchiceratops. A-N, for anyone watching, I want to look it up. A-N-C-H-I and then Ceratops. C-E-R-A-T-O-P-S. I just like its crown a lot, the horns on them. It has like its normal horns, but then like a big crown and then spikes all around it.
There's quite a bunch to go from. Me, I'm more of a Spinosaurus and Mosasaurus.
Yeah, but I just love how Spinosaurus is progressively getting like like nerfed. Back in the early 2000s, like, yeah, this guy could put up a fight against T-Rex. Nowadays, is like, he ate fish, little guy.
But it's because, you know, we only had one big full sample, and it was in a museum in Germany, and that got bombed.
So there is one still complete. Decades. There is still one. It's in Chicago. Me and my buddies are going to go see it during G-Fest. The Chicago Museum, I forgot the exact name of the museum, is apparently the only place in the world that now has a full, complete Spinosaurus fossil.
Really?
Yeah. So we get to go see that.
Check it out. Have you gotten into Beast of Mosaic figures? No, I have not, but I've heard of it. They are pretty fantastic.
I've probably seen them and just don't realize, but I don't think I've ever heard the brand name outright.
Yeah, there's a lot of brand names to get into. PNSO, you got Marco makes his own stuff on Etsy. I mean, it's a rabbit hole. It's a big rabbit hole. Is there a line of Godzilla figures that you wanted to collect, but you just never did?
Revoltech. I think Revoltech's just kind of a better SH in certain ways. And they give us the characters that SH hasn't done, you know, Baragon, Showa Mogira, and Geras.
SH, to me, dropped the ball a long time ago with Shin.
Yeah. You know, the Shima one, I've seen people just say, like, oh, it's just an articulated version of the Playmates.
What do you think of SH? Or not SH, Haya?
They're doing very well. Yeah, I mean, I have a Godzilla and then 2 skull crawlers, and overall love it. They're doing phenomenal.
All right, I'm gonna ask you one last question because we're hitting about that time, and then we'll wrap it up.
All right.
This is gonna be a hot one, so if you don't want to answer, I'm not gonna pull your.
All right, let's hear it.
What are your thoughts on other creators ripping off content to make their own content? That's all they make.
What do you mean? Like other people's content or like trailer? What do you mean?
What's that?
You said like only what?
Will take other people's stuff and only post that stuff, never stuff of their own.
I mean, like if it's like a one-time thing and it's just like if you're using it for inspiration, that's one thing. But if your whole channel revolves around like taking stuff word for word, I know like Danco, he's literally just ripped from multiple other YouTubers and articles. There's a couple content creators in the Godzilla community. I find a little annoying. I'm not gonna name drop any. But like there's like and there I'm not gonna say any names. It's one guy who just like his channel was kind of flopping. So when the GXK trailers came out, he just uploaded only the trailers. Overall, got millions of views. But what he did also, just to because you can tell he just did it for money, he changed out the music so it wouldn't get copyright flagged, and so he just re-uploaded multiple of the well, not multiple, like almost every single trailer, or like here's what it does look like. They've had like blue spikes instead. Um, and so just took stuff and yeah, just I mean, like if you're not able to make your own content ideas, then YouTube isn't really for you. I've seen some people be like, "Oh, but it's difficult to make stuff each week." Like, well, firstly, you don't have to do it every week like I do. You can do like once a month, once every couple months. You're not. It's not like required like an actual job to come in. And if you're just not creative enough, like I mean this in no disrespectful way, it's just like then just probably isn't for you. You gotta constantly be at the front of stuff, finding trends. There's still work to put in for ideas. So,
What do you think the hardest part of the video is? Is it to you? To me, I think it's the thumbnail, right? I think over the idea then and everything else, I think the thumbnail is what makes or breaks most videos.
yeah, it's one of the most important things. I have artists that do it for me. For me, it's audio editing because I have to sit down and record, and sometimes record it twice, 3 times, and go over sentences. I have to do all that, and then when it comes to the audio editing, I have to go through all that. I have to take out every breath or cough or pause, so it still goes, so it flows smoothly. Like when you actually editing takes more time, but at least you get to see it come to life as a video. Audio editing, it's just me looking at my docs, my Google Docs that I'm reading off of and just chopping that up for like 2 hours straight. So for me, it's audio editing. But if you're a really good reader and you can just read something straight through, bless you. That is a great skill. I cannot read if my life depended on it.
Try to have it match up.
Yeah, it's tough. If you can read fluently, like read perfectly and have it sounds like a good voice, then YouTube's for you. Just get some video ideas and you're good.
All right, and I think we're at our time. Godzilla Guy, I
Alrighty.
want to appreciate you joining me. It was
No
really
problem.
an honor. Thank you very much.
Thank you for inviting me.
Where can we find you again?
Just Godzilla Guy,
I
just
sort
like
of
the name on YouTube. GODZILLAGUY. It is this little green Godzilla you see on your screen, and yeah.
And if you guys haven't subscribed to him, subscribe to him. He does amazing content, freaking fantastic. And
Appreciate
another time, I would like to shout out. You guys haven't subscribed to Big Action Bill, go subscribe to him. He does fantastic work. Godzilla Guy even praised him.
One of the best creators.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, he is. I'm on the verge of hitting 2K. When I hit 2K, I'm going to do a Heisei giveaway. Pick anything from their website. It's yours. I'll mail it to your house. Completely free of charge. So there we have it. Godzilla Guy, thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
It's been a blast. Everybody in the chat, thanks for joining. Have a good day.